Well, hello again, and welcome to another edition of the Speed Bag. Today, a segment that I like to call, So, what did we learn? Former UFC light heavyweight champion Lyoto Machida is out of his rematch with Dan Henderson at UFC on Fox 19 this Saturday, and probably facing some sort of suspension after a violation of the UFC's anti-doping policy. His mistake? When they showed up to drug test him, he admitted that he was using a banned substance. And when I say admitting, I mean like straight up telling this to the people doing the drug testing. Like they show up and say, tell us what you're on. And he goes, I got my multivitamin, my Flintstones gummies, a little bit of whey protein, and this substance that's been banned for several years. Now, Machida said afterward that he didn't know it was banned, which would explain why he was so eager to offer up that information. And the substance itself, a banned metabolite of the banned substance DHEA, isn't anything that would raise a bunch of red flags for most people. It's not some crazy steroid that you have to get from the scary big guy hanging around the Gold's Gym locker room. It's not something you need to get from a shady Brazilian doctor. You can get this at health food stores, at GNC. You can get it at Walmart, where, incidentally, you can also get a pretty good price on those Flintstone gummies. Or rather, you can do that if you're just a regular person looking for a workout supplement. Then you can take whatever's legal, anything you can buy on the shelves. But UFC fighters, they can't do that. That is just not their reality. For some reason, a lot of UFC fighters seem slow to catch on to this. And they're under the watchful eye of one of the foremost anti-doping agencies in the world, and you're still running around doing weird powders and popping weird pills like they're just some regular dude trying to get an extra 10 pounds on his bench press. But see, the response is what I think is really interesting here, because Machida gets popped for, a fairly innocuous substance, by his own admission, pleads ignorance, and is anybody trying to give him a break? No. Nobody is even trying to hear it. Not even Dan Henderson, who for years was on synthetic testosterone, even he's not trying to hear it. All anyone hears is banned substance and cheater. Or maybe in this case, Machida, because everybody loves wordplay. You'd almost think people would be more forgiving of this particular excuse, especially because of how many fighters, how recently, have gotten into some kind of trouble using just basic workout supplement stuff. But no, if anything, people seem less tolerant, less forgiving than they were before USADA got involved. I think, honestly, a lot of it is that before USADA started this program, it seemed like a lot of guys were getting away with a lot of stuff. Now that the drug test failures are starting to kind of pile up on top of one another, it feels like the curtain has kind of been yanked back. And when that happens, people aren't looking to be terribly forgiving. They're looking to point the finger and shine the spotlight on all the guys they think have been getting away with stuff for years. And who knows, maybe in some instances they have. What this leads to is a climate where even if you make a seemingly honest mistake or just an honestly dumb mistake, people are not going to cut you much slack. They don't have room in their minds, especially right now, for those shades of gray. There's just black and white. It's clean or, in some people's minds, not yet caught, and then dirty. That's it. Case closed. The lesson here? Maybe it's that at a time in MMA when it's easier than ever to just kind of blunder your way into a drug test failure, it's also more important than ever not to. Because once that stain gets attached to you, especially right now when we seem to be in a bit of a transition period, it is not going to be easy to remove.